Shake Table Lab by Geoffrey and Cole Penix. This is the building sketch of the tower. It only shows the bottom part of the tower. The numbers show all the dimensions of the straws. Next, Cole is adding the crossbeams for extra support. They are unbendable when they have support. I am finishing up on the bottom floor of the building. I am taping the crossbeams together and to the uprights. In this one, Cole is finishing the straws of the roof. We went with a simple design because we wanted to be efficient with our straws. Here is Cole adding the paper roof. We also put paper on the sides for more support for the straws. Finally, we have the finished tower with the dimensions. The arrows point to the location of each dimension, like labels. Here is the tower in static testing. Static testing is a test where we put 2 sandbags on the top and 2 on the bottom to see how the tower holds together without shaking it. Strengthening is the places where we try to strengthen the tower the most. In my opinion, I think the place that we most tried to strengthen the tower is in the corners, where there was big wads of tape and the crossbeams because they gave a lot of support in the middle of the tower. In this one, it is the strongest parts of our tower. I think the strongest part of our tower is the uprights on the first and second floor, because they have 3 straws together and it is connected with the bolts under the cardboard base. Right here is the weakest parts of our building. The weakest part of our building is probably the places that we didn't put a lot of tape and it did not have a lot of support.
First major earthquake.
Oh my meow!
This is the XYZ graph from when we put our towers on the shake table. The x-axis shows the side-to-side motion of our tower, the y-axis shows the forward and back motion, and the z motion shows the up and down motion. Hi, I'm Geoffrey and I made this tower and I want to tell you guys about it. So, it held only 4 sandbags, and I believe that we could have done a lot better with the tower, and we could have added more support and more tape. Second of all, we have, where it really failed was in the bottom part of our tower on the corners, because we didn't add a lot of support or tape to it, and it just collapsed. And I believe that was just one of our mistakes, and we could have just done it a lot better. And then, third thing is what we really could have done better with our tower is we could have added a lot more support to it, and we could have just restructured it a lot better, because it was very weak overall, and it just collapsed. And what I really learned about this is we had a lot of tips, and one was, say, we didn't want to make our tower too big, otherwise it would be very easy to collapse, and we didn't want to make it too small, and that's just, like, compact. And then, so we had to make it medium-sized, and that was supposed to make it very supportable and strong and just good. And then, finally, what I really liked about this project was we could just work on it, and it was very fun, but you could say, like, oh, it's very serious, but it's very fun. So it's a mix of both, and it's just a really good project, and it was awesome. So, yeah. Bye.
Our building held 4 sandbags, and the reason why it failed was because the cross pieces had not enough tape and it kind of collapsed on top of those corners. What could I do better? I'd probably put more tape on it, and I'd put like a little more support in the middle to keep it upright. I learned that you have to have a very sturdy and strong building so it won't collapse on top of each other. I enjoyed building the tower because it was really fun to interact with my other classmates.